Hi there. So I want to introduce you to your next module. First thing I want to show you is wow. I want you to understand that what you're going to be seeing is dazzling. We talk about bling today. This is the bling for a king and a god. It's beyond spectacular. It's amazing what you're going to be learning about. It's gorgeous. And it's often called today Gothic architecture, Gothic cathedrals, Gothic art, although we learn that really the correct term, the term used at the time, is the French style. So you'll learn all about this terminology and what's tricky about it as you dive into this module, which is heavily focused on architecture, building on what we've already been studying. And you'll be doing some video comments because that will help you to wrap your mind around the complexity of what you're seeing, which will involve architecture, stained glass sculpture, amazing amounts of ornamentation, a lot. As you go on, you learn about how this started. You see some really important examples of this style as it developed. And then as the week goes on, you have, in addition to your video comments, you have a quiz right here with the little quiz rocket ship. So those two things are due on October 7th. Then you also have one of your sort of significant projects of the semester, which is not due for a while, but I want you to read it first. I want you to read it partly because it actually gives you two options. So it's a lengthy assignment prompt because it's two assignment prompts in one. The objectives apply to both versions, but you have an option one, which is writing a travel guide and using Padlet. And I'll show you a little more about Padlet as we go on. Option two is my personal favorite, and I hope you'll choose it, although they're both very good. But it's my personal favorite because you go to Grace Cathedral in San Francisco to actually experience what it is to be inside a building, a cathedral designed on Gothic principles. So that gives you 35 points extra credit in acknowledgement of the fact that you're doing, if you do this project, you're doing what we would call primary research, which means you're not reading about the thing, you're actually going and examining it yourself in the physical presence of it. You're investigating directly, as sort of like we did with the food exercise. And it takes time to go to San Francisco. So I'm definitely wanting to reward you with extra credit. I do think this is an opportunity to make everything you're learning really come to life for you, although I do hope the travel guide does that as well. Take a close look at the dates. So you have a due date listed here as October 17th, but that is actually your draft. On October 17th, you submit a first draft, and you are automatically assigned 4 peers to do peer reviews. You're going to be giving each other peer reviews to help each other develop and improve your first draft into a better, complete draft. You're also doing that because you learn from each other by seeing, oh, that person did that. I didn't think of that, but really, I should do something similar. I should apply that concept. So this is a process of you helping each other build and strengthen your analysis. And then you have some time to take into account. You have 2 days, just like with a discussion. You have 2 days to get back to your peers, and then you want to be able to incorporate what you've learned from your peers and then hand in a final draft on October 24th. So in terms of thinking about time, you start out with plenty of time, but you know how it is in life. There's never plenty of time. So I'd really like to encourage you to read through this whole module. Before you kind of read everything in detail, do a quick read through and a careful read through of the projects so that you have a plan in your mind, because every single page here is absolutely essential to being able to do your project well. So you want to use this week coming up as your week of, I am pulling everything together to be able to do my project. And I'm doing that by taking very copious notes, making sure I understand everything, using the quiz as an opportunity to test my understanding, and then making a plan. Okay, I've got to do my field trip if I'm going to do the field trip, or get going on my Padlet construction, and I need to have it in by the 17th in a decent draft so I can get good feedback, meaningful feedback. And then when am I going to finish it? Because, it seems like you have plenty of time now, which you do, but other things are going to be coming up. There will be a new module. So I want you to kind of start budgeting your time now with a sense of what's coming down the road, and ask me questions. I would love to help you figure out how to stay on track and how to kind of make the most of these assignments, because they're an opportunity to really, sock away some good points. If you feel like you haven't been doing as well as you want, if you pour your heart and soul into this, you can really bump up your point bank account.